Welcome. This is a training of how to use the Pulse for Good system. I'm assuming if you're here, you know a little about Pulse for Good, but let me share just a brief summary of how this platform works. Pulse is a system designed to help you get feedback from the people you serve in a way that feels safe for them to be able to say things that are sometimes hard to say in other contexts. The crown jewel of this is using self-service kiosks that people can take anonymous surveys on. But as you'll see in this platform, there's a lot more to it, and a lot of different ways for you to be able to capture feedback your organization may be getting and run different reports and analysis on that feedback to find different ways that you can improve your services. Today, we're going to be going through the entire Pulse for Good system, sharing each of the tools, how you may use them, and giving an overview of how the system works and how it can benefit your organization. First, we're going to start on the login screen. You're going to be able to go to login screen by navigating to kiosk.pulseforgood.com or go to pulseforgood.com and hit login. From there, you'll be taken to a traditional login screen with a username and password. You will previously have been sent an email that will give you a place to be able to set up an account. Once you get here, you're going to come in and either log in hitting the login button and your username and password, or click the single sign-on button and be able to sign on with your organization's credentials. Once I log in, I'm going to be taken to a dashboard. This dashboard is going to show me all of the various feedback systems that I have in place. Right now, it's going to show me a list of surveys that I have. Going to show me a list of surveys. This will be your dashboard of all of your different surveys that you're currently have access to, right? Hence, my surveys. Up at the top, you're going to see a few different options. You'll see surveys, groups, my orgs, which will take you into your organizations, my tools, and if you're a super admin, the administrator page. Also at the top, you'll see this little help button, this little notification icon, and your account information. If I click on my account, I'll get a few other pieces of information that I'm able to use. Below that, you'll see the My Surveys header. You'll see an ability to search for your surveys. You can change to an expanded or condensed view on your surveys. And you're able to hide inactive or hidden surveys, or just see all of them. So you can see your old surveys if you'd like to, as well as the Create New Survey button. Before we dive deeper into this, I want to point out that on each page, down in the corner, there'll be this little question mark button, right? It's very similar to this question mark button at the top. But what it does is it allows you to come inside and view product tours for the stage of the application that you're at. Meaning if you're at a place in this application and you don't understand what you can do here, if you click that button, it will give you the ability to take a tour of what you can do. For instance, from here, I can find and open a survey. If I click this button, it's going to explain to you each step that it takes to be able to find and open a survey. As you hit next and go through it, it'll highlight the various places that you need to click to be able to find the things that you're looking for. Pretty simple. This is available at every stage of the application. So if you're lost, it's a great place to be able to go and look. You also have a few other options down here. You can view the product documentation. You can give us feedback. We do love feedback. Please tell us anything and everything you find that you want changed. You can report a bug, and included in that, there is a $2 reward for every new bug that's reported. Or you can just reach out and get help, and our support team can be able to help you out there. This is contextual information, right? So it matters where you're at in the app, and it'll tell you what's happening inside of the app on the page you're on. If instead you just want to see all of the help, if you click on this help button at the top, the little question mark, you can then see all of the different guided tours that you can take through the app and each of the different questions. And so maybe if you have a question of how do I publish my survey, you can come here, click the button, and it'll give you a tour of how to actually publish your survey. Same thing's true of maybe how do I create a feedback board, or how do I add a team member. Each are going to give you little walkthroughs that you're going to be able to see, similar to this tutorial, but instead guiding you through the app inside of the application, showing you your data. These tours can be super helpful to help you get through the system and help you understand what you can do with the data that you have. Now, as I go back to the home page, clearly you've seen this layout here. This also exists inside of the mobile application. You'd be able to have a hamburger menu where you're able to navigate between your surveys, your groups, your organizations, or see your notifications or help information there. All right, moving on. My surveys. This is why we're here. We're going to look at surveys for a particular organization. So I'm going to pull up Acme. Inside of here, I have my list of surveys. I have an Acme Corrections, a federally qualified health clinic one, a mental health survey, an unhoused survey, an Acme volunteer survey, and so on and so forth. Each of these are a demo survey that we have established here to be able to show in this training context. But you'll see your surveys here. And as you create new ones, you'll also see them here. Now, notice I have the hidden and inactive or hide inactive surveys triggered on. And so if I were to show inactive, I would see a few more surveys that are no longer being used. From here, I can also search and say, maybe I want to see Acme Corrections. And it's going to narrow it down to give me exactly what I'm looking for. When I'm on an individual survey card, I get a few quick at-a-glance things. First, the name, how many total responses, how many responses this month. Looks like this survey hasn't been used this month, so there's 0 in May. The score overall, so I'm at 3.7 out of 5. 0 in May, that's my score in May. 0 responses, so this is score 0. And a representation of that score in stars. Below, I get a breakdown of each of the questions. In this situation, we're asking how safe do we feel? How clean was it? How respectful were the staff? How was my visit? How safe did I feel? I ask how clean was it again, and I ask how respectful the staff is again. Clearly, there's some issues here that I want to show you how to correct as we go through this. And so let's jump into that. When I click into the survey, just by clicking anywhere, I'm going to come into a dashboard for this survey. Inside of this dashboard, I'm going to be able to see all the information that people have entered in their survey. By default, these surveys are filtered by time. It's going to pull up the last time grouping, either this month, last month, year to date, 1 year, or all time, that it has data for. Looks like we had a response last month, and so it comes here, but we get this little notification that says responses are hidden to protect anonymity. We take anonymity seriously, and we don't want you to be able to filter it down to a single response, so you could then see what somebody entered by filtering the time of day or maybe demographics down to try and see the person you saw taking the survey on a kiosk, what their response was. In order to see that data, you're going to want to broaden your filters. And so I want to see more than just last month. I'm going to look at 1 year. When I come to 1 year, all of a sudden the data populates. I have a bunch more information here. You can see overall I've got this score, right, a 3.99. I can see how many stars. I can see the score for this month and how many responses.